What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all is well with you guys. Do me a favor, please hit the like, share, subscribe. Make sure you remain subscribed. Believe it or not, YouTube does deduct subs from these channels. I don't know why that is, but they do almost right away, almost daily. So please make sure you remain subscribed if you are. And also, if you want to contribute to the channel in a way that goes beyond commenting, because interactions, engagement is very valuable too. So I'm just glad that you're here. But if you do want to contribute monetarily, you may do so by hitting the Super Thanks feature on all of my videos, as well as there is a Cash App link in the pinned comment below. All right, guys, let's get into this Black Panther thing. You guys know I've been talking about this for years. A lot of people have been talking about this. Marvel has had deaf ears when it comes to this type of thing. When we talk about recasting T'Challa, it isn't just because we're some overgrown kids who just want to see this. The character is, in fact, very important. And ask Kevin Feige, ask Nate Moore, Wonder Boy Ryan Coogler, they just don't get it. But it seems now in this moment of desperation after the underperforming of these movies that have come out lately, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Captain America Brave New World, they're looking back and they're wondering, you know, maybe we had something back in the day that we can kind of build on. So now they're looking at Black Panther, and I want to share this with you guys so you can see what I'm talking about real quick, because of course the brother got to get to work. But here's what we have here, and this is in CBR.com. And we look at the headline, and it says, Black Panther 3 reportedly tapped to shake up the MCU after Avengers Secret Wars. Black Panther 3. All right. It says here, the multiverse saga became the franchise's next era of storytelling, which is a shame because, as you guys know, it's well documented. I cannot stand the multiverse. With the multiverse comes very low stakes. You don't feel the urgency anymore because you got like 2,000 of the same characters. Somebody dies, you can just bring them back from a multiverse. It's the ultimate cheat sheet. But the multiverse saga became the franchise's next era of storytelling, and Marvel Studios grew more ambitious by adding live-action television series and animation to the slate, which also was terrible. These MCU movies should be like Star Wars. It should be an event, or at least what Star Wars used to be. It should be an event that you have to wait for, that you have to go out to see in the cinema. I don't know how somebody thought it was a good idea to start producing these things like it was a sitcom, but that's what we got. The result has been mixed since the overabundance of projects has lost some followers. Yeah, a whole lot. And the quality has failed to live up to previous standards. The multiverse saga has been an experiment to see just how far the MCU can go. And after many lessons learned, Marvel Studios now looks to get the franchise back on track. After Avengers Secret Wars, major changes are in the pipeline for the MCU, and a recent rumor points to an unlikely franchise kicking things off. And they're talking about Black Panther. Why does that have to be unlikely, man? This thing made history. I know a lot of people like to downplay Black Panther and its impact on the MCU, but I don't know. I'm sorry, haters. Black Panther actually made a whole lot of money, and actually it made a whole lot of history all around the globe. I talked about this on videos in the past. There's no reason why someone would say that it's an unlikely franchise, except for the fact that y'all fucked it up. But that's a you problem, MCU, Marvel, Kevin Feige. Black Panther is Marvel Studios' only Academy Award-winning film series. That is a fact. Haters, you can talk about whether or not it deserved it or not, but it is a fact. It is the only Academy Award-winning film series. It says here, Black Panther broke barriers for the superhero genre with 7 nominations at the 2019 Academy Awards, including one for Best Picture. Following the success of the first film, which was the strongest debut for an MCU character, T'Challa instantly became a key figure on the levels of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Spider-Man. Look at the wording, T'Challa. T'Challa instantly became a key figure on the levels of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Spider-Man. T'Challa, not Shuri, okay? This is not about, oh, you're just hitting on a woman. This is Marvel Studios or Marvel Comics' first black superhero. Now, please, guys, I wish you would stop getting in the comment section talking about it was actually Blade. We're talking about the comics. Marvel Comics first superhero was T'Challa, Black Panther. Blade was on the movie screen first, but T'Challa was in existence before Blade. Okay, for those of you in the back of the class with the helmets on. All right, moving on. We have a quote here from Kevin Feige. As the numerous phone calls and text messages show that went back and forth between all of us who were lucky enough to work on the film, talking about the first Black Panther, it's just pride. I think Black Panther is a unique movie told by a unique filmmaker in a unique time. Now, you guys remember, I told you guys it was all about timing with Black Panther, okay? It was the time for this character to break through, and they sort of seized that time. That character broke through and they dropped the ball by doing what they did. Yes, it is unfortunate that Chadwick Boseman passed, but guys, recasting is not something that is alien in Hollywood. I don't mean to sound cold-hearted about that, but it's just the fact the character was in existence for almost 50 years before Chadwick Boseman picked it up. And now it was just starting to be on the level of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Spider-Man, and they chose to kill the character. So anyway, I think Black Panther is a unique movie told by a unique filmmaker in a unique time. It comes down to this amazing cast and crew and a brilliant director who has something to say. He had a very personal story and struggle to explore, and he wanted to use this movie and this canvas to tell it. Looking over the past year at the cultural impact this movie has had around the world, rewind that. Looking at the past year at the cultural impact that this movie has had around the world, it feels like the recognition from the Academy this morning is the pinnacle of that. And this was from Kevin Feige after Black Panther received a Best Picture nomination in 2019. Okay, they knew how important this character was. They knew how the character resonated with the kids. Chadwick Boseman knew this. He went around talking to these kids. I feel like a broken record. You guys know it by now. I'm not trying to convince anybody because believe me, we got smooth brains who will still to this day come into the comment section. Will you let it go? Motherfucker, let go of my balls. You don't have to be here. You don't have to be watching my video. I'm pointing something out that should have been evident for retards like you almost 10 years ago. But here we are. And here we are with Marvel just now looking back and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe we did the wrong thing. Maybe one of our most successful characters who broke through, maybe we shouldn't have killed it because the actor unfortunately passed away. So anyway, the next Black Panther film could launch the next MCU phase. Ain't that a bitch? But here, let me just scroll down because I got to get out of here. It's after 8 o'clock already. All right, but I want to talk about here how they still learned nothing. Okay, it says here one of the most exciting pieces of information about the next MCU saga to come is that the X-Men will be a main part of it, or a major part of it. While variants from previous X-Men films have appeared throughout the multiverse saga, Marvel Studios plans to completely reboot the mutants in the next saga. And you guys know my hashtag has always been reboot Black Panther. Okay, makes sense to me since they fucked it up. All right, so reboot the mutants in the next saga. Moreover, the MCU will move away from the multiverse. The MCU will move away from the multiverse and reset the franchise into a single timeline. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. If you can do this, if you can get good writers, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. No more multiverse. Flush that shit, man. If a new Black Panther joins the MCU in the next Avengers films, then Coogler's next film could continue with his story in a new reshaped universe. Now, those of you who have been following this story, I know where your mind is going. Will it be the one and only T'Challa, or will it be T'Bastard? Will it be T'Child? We're talking about Toussaint. With the X-Men set to become a major part of the MCU and Black Panther 3 seemingly launching the next wave of the franchise, there could be some significant ties between the two. Black Panther Wakanda Forever notably introduced the mutant Namor Akukokan to the MCU, and the next film could serve as the debut for other X-Men characters. Here it goes. Storm is the X-Men character who has the biggest ties to Black Panther in the comics. And the upcoming sequel could finally explore their relationship on the big screen. There have also been persistent rumors that Black Panther 3 could also feature Washington as Magneto. Stop. See, this is what I'm talking about not learning anything. I love Denzel Washington. I respect him so much. I respect him to the point where I don't think he should be a product of a cheap ass race swap. And hopefully he realizes that too. All right, so anyway, regardless of what's fact and fiction, Black Panther was always meant to be a major character leading the MCU. And while Boseman's death impacted Marvel Studios' initial plans, the next saga could bring a variation of the character back to the forefront. You're killing me. All right, well, anyway, it says here at some point they had mentioned, okay, as it stands, Black Panther 3's potential 2028 release date would make it the first MCU after Avengers Secret Wars, which is due out December 2027. Black Panther Wakanda Forever concluded with the reveal of T'Challa's son. This is why I wanted to go back and do this one. Bound to take on his father's Black Panther mantle in the future. While T'Challa's son of the same name was only 6 years old when Black Panther Wakanda Forever's mid-credit scene introduced him to simple audiences who said, well, he can get all of his stories. It's likely the MCU will age him up or use a multiverse to debut an older version. Now, they just got through saying they don't want to do multiverses anymore. So let's take that off the table, hopefully. But the age him up shit, man, please, we don't want that. A terrible wrong was committed when you killed this character, this historical character, and it would only make matters worse. Please hear me when I say this, okay? There are people all over the internet, all over YouTube, who are saying what I'm saying, but they never shout me out, so I'm not gonna shout them out. I'm petty like that, but we're out there. There's a lot of us out there, and we're all saying the same thing, man. Marvel, you need to hear this, especially from Black voices, because the Black voices are the ones that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created this character for. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. A brother got to make some money. If you want to help, hit that super thanks, Cash App. But anyway, I just wanted to make this point. Okay, as we go forward, and Marvel is wondering, listen, man, you did a terrible wrong when you killed this character in so many ways. You know, this character meant something to the history of Marvel, and you need that credibility, that authenticity. You need that back in this character. It's not going to work with an offshoot. It's not going to work with a multiverse character. It's not going to work with T'Challa, to Bastard, to Sant. It's not going to work with Shuri. It's just not. Okay, so you need to listen to what those in the know are saying. The movie could be good, it could be entertaining, but it's not honest. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'm already late as usual, but I wanted to reach out to you guys. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. I miss you when I'm not here. Hope you miss me. But anyway, guys, you can get in the comment section. You can tell me how you feel about this. I know I sound like a broken record with a lot of this stuff, guys, but unfortunately, look how long it's taken for them to slowly put the pieces together. Get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel. As always, like, share, subscribe, contribute to the channel. Super thanks. Cash App, pinned comment below. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.